If everybody would find your seat, we're gonna try to get started on time. Up, okay, everybody, all right. We got a great crowd tonight, I tell you, for this event. I'm very, very pleased that you have this kind of turnout for people that will come to learn about what we term the state of the city. For everybody that's here, we've got a great city. We've got a city that's financially sound. We've got a city that's got great employees. We've got a city that's got a multitude of great projects going on, as all of y'all are aware of. The construction may be a little inconvenient right now, but at the end of the day, we're going to have a nice thoroughfare through our city and for everybody to enjoy and get around a little bit easier. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our annual State of the City. We're very pleased you're able to join us. I'd like for you to welcome Mr. Terrence Bell, one of our city health inspectors. He's going to lead us in an invocation to begin the evening.
Thank you. If you'll bow your heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for this awesome city. God, we thank you just for being the God that we know that you are. God, we thank you just for everything that you have blessed us with. Continue to bless this community, continue to bless this city and each department. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, now at this time, it's our pleasure to welcome members of the USA Boy Scout Troop 114 under the direction of Scoutmaster Brian Gedalian, and who will post the colors. Please stand if you're able and remove any headwear.
Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors. Color guard, present the colors. Audience, salute. Post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance of the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the Texas flag. Salute. Honor
the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
2. Color guard retreat. Audience, you may be seated.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to acknowledge our local elected officials in the audience. If you would please stand when your name is called and remain standing until all names have been called, and then we'll have a round of applause for everybody. At our city council, we have Ronald Allen is here, city councilman, Paul David Heiser, Tish Humphrey, Clyde Law, and Keith Olson. One thing, before I go to just remain standing, where is Keith? Keith, come up here a little bit closer, Keith. You're trying to hide back there is what you're trying to do. Keith Olson has served this city council for 8 years. He terms out in November. So Keith, after November, you're not going to get that $40 a month anymore. So you're going to have to learn how to live, without it, Keith. But Keith is to be commended to serve on the city council for 8 years and to serve the citizens of Huntsville. I thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate it. In addition, we have Judge Danny Pierce, and you know we're related, Danny and I are. And I think Bill Doggett from the county is here. Bill, where? Yeah, here's Bill. We also have with us tonight some candidates that are running for city council on the November 6th ballot. And I'd like to recognize these people also because, you know, without people willing to put in the time and without people willing to say, I want to invest my time in the city, they do this on a volunteer basis. It's to be commended that they would be willing to run and go through the task of running for city council. Bill Bain, Bill, where are you at? Right here. Right here. Okay, Bill. Will you just stand up, Bill? And Dee Howard is here with us. Dee, and Marty Montgomery is here with us. And so now we also want to recognize former mayors that are here with us. Bill Green, the Bill, Jane Monday, and Mac Woodward is here with us. We also have Constable Shane Luzier. Shane, where are you? There's Shane. From our Huntsville Independent School District, we have Kevin Stanford here with us tonight. Kevin, where are you? There's Kevin. Thank you. And from the hospital district, we have Dr. Curtis Montgomery. Dr. Montgomery, there he is. Okay. Also, from the state, we have Ernest Bell's legislative director. Jordan, where are you at? Jordan Sidrick? There she is. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, let's give him a round of applause. Also due recognition of the members of the city's boards and commissions and all those who volunteer with your city. If you are a member of one of our boards or if you volunteer with us, please stand and let us give you a hand. If any of you are interested in serving on these boards, you can kind of pick the one that you might feel you have some expertise in or would suit you. You can contact the city secretary's office and she'll give you all the information needed for you to get more involved in our city. Earlier this year, the city council selected Aaron Culhavy. First, they did it on an interim basis in February. Because, you know, you got to kind of check these guys out. You don't just put them right into the fray, right? But we made Aaron the permanent city manager in June. Aaron has been with the city of Huntsville for 10 years, serving as the Director of Community and Economic Development, with responsibilities including oversight of the inspections, planning, Main Street, and support services division. And when joining the city in 2008 as the city planner, when he joined the city in 2008 as the city planner. Culhavy, now don't hold this against him, is from Stephen F. Austin University. He told me he was going to wear a purple suit tonight. He hails from Nacogdoches, where he began his career in municipal government at the city of Nacogdoches. His first position there was as a seasonal laborer in the Parks Department, and he was later appointed as its city planner in 1999. Aaron is married to Rachel, and they have two sons, Devin and Dylan, and they also have two grandchildren. Where is Rachel at? I think she came in. Rachel, where are you? There's Rachel. Wave, Rachel. Okay. I'm going to bring Aaron up, and he's going to go over some of the specifics that are happening in our city. But before I do, I want to express how grateful I am that we had someone like Aaron Culhavy that could step right into the job of the city manager. It's a big job, a huge job. And Aaron is off to a good start. I'm not going to give you too much credit yet, Aaron. But I pledged Aaron that between Aaron and myself, we're going to walk hand in hand and we're going to do what's best for the citizens of Huntsville. I think Aaron is totally sold out to Huntsville, and we are very, very lucky as a city and as citizens of Huntsville to have someone of Aaron Culhavy's caliber that could step in and take over as the city manager in our city. So without any further ado, Aaron, you want to come and take the podium?
All right, we're going to give this microphone, see if it works, and see if we don't get any reverberation. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, the mayor gave me an introduction that is way better than I deserve, so I will do what I can to try and live up to that billing tonight. But I want to start off by just saying, today, this is the biggest birthday party I have ever had. So thank you all for coming to celebrate my birthday with me.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Kind of as the mayor's comments about me, that was more than I deserve as well, but it is a very heartfelt thank you. As the mayor said, I came to the city of Huntsville 10 years ago, and I remember telling a couple of people that I met at that time that I will either spend 2 years in Huntsville or I will finish my career here. Little did I know where my career led me. Also, 10 years ago in Huntsville, across I-45, they had just cleared a bunch of trees and were flattening a piece of dirt to build something on it. Now, it's an awesome shopping center, and the past 10 years have been amazing. And I think the next 10 years have something even better in store for us. So what I want to start with today is a little bit about what we do as city employees and what we're here for. We want to make sure as employees that what we do in all of our actions meets the vision statement of the city of Huntsville. And I'll give you a moment for each of you to read that, but it's something that we look to do in all of our actions. As we go through the slides, I'll kind of take you on some of the accomplishments we've done this past year, some of the projects that we have ongoing. Want to talk a little bit about what we have coming up in the future. So again, this is what we keep in mind when we do this. A couple of the highlights of some major projects that we got completed this past year. The first one are our electronic message centers, or in planning speak, we call them blinky signs. But it's something that Councilman Emmett kept up and kept on. It is a project that has received great recognition throughout the city. We don't hear any bad comments about that, and we think it's a great way to let people know about what's going on in town and great events like this. Another project, and one that I was fortunate enough to be the project manager on, was the construction of the Bill Hodges Education Building at the Sam Houston Statue Visitor Center. That building is now open, and the public can lease it out for events. It's been an awesome addition out there. If anybody's interested in renting that building from us, we need the revenue, so please go see Kim. She's right over there, and she will be happy to help you out. One of the things that people always ask about, and something that I've known about or spent a lot of my time and career here with the city of Huntsville, is what's going on in town. I recall when I first became involved in that aspect of it, I could remember off the top of my head every project that was going on, the valuation of it, where it was going and when it was going to be done. Now I can tell you that is absolutely hopeless, not only for myself, but for everybody else that's involved with the development process. There are tons of things going on, and we have plenty of copies of the major projects list. The Development Services Department with Kevin Bile and his department, please go by and visit him and get a copy of the major projects list. I think the one people in town are most excited about is that one right there. It's a little restaurant that a lot of people talk about, known as Chick-fil-A. What I can tell you is we have the first set of plans in on that. It will go out there in front of Academy, and they have lots of room to park cars to stack up in the drive-thru. So I believe the last count we saw was 26. Be pretty amazing. We don't have all their applications in yet. I have absolutely no idea when they are coming or when they'll break ground and everything, but that is one that I think everybody is ready for and something we hear a lot about. After that one's done, I don't know what's next. That was the only one on my original list of what I wanted to see complete in my previous position. It's the only one I missed out on, but it's actually helping me a little bit more in my current job. Another great place to eat, we're opening those all the time. One is going on is the Great American Cookie and Marble Slab. They should be open very, very soon. One of the things people ask about all the time is, what are they building over there? What are they building over there? As we've worked throughout the years, we've had some default answers. So I believe it was 3 or 4 years ago, the default answer was a dollar store. So 2013 was the year of the dollar store. Last year, what are they building over there? It was storage buildings. So last year was the year of storage. This year, and probably next year, and maybe the next, it's an apartment complex. So it will be a multifamily project. Some of the big ones that we have ongoing and just completed, the Haven at Avenue M, that's the one on I-45, the east side of the highway, where they have cleared all the ground and are working on a lot of the dirt work and foundation. Sterling Huntsville is the old HEB site, and the parking garage is up and closer to completion than beginning on that. And then the Armory is a project that recently opened, and I think it's something that really changed the way of doing things in Huntsville. People are starting to build vertical now instead of horizontal, and it really affects the way we have to think about some things in the future. Sterling Huntsville will be very similar to the Armory that opened, just take it and multiply it by 1.5. So it will be a huge project. A couple of other things that are ongoing in town in various stages of development, and I think these are the absolute most important, are some of the industrial and primary job creators here in this community. Just a couple of months ago, the City Council as well as the County's Commissioners Court approved a development agreement with Weatherford. And that is a company where Weatherford was considering Huntsville, Texas, a location in China, or a location in Dubai. And so they approached us and said, guys, our corporate's looking at consolidating a lot of businesses, moving some jobs from Canada and Louisiana. We would really like to be in Texas, and we would really like to be in Huntsville. So after working with them over several months, we got them to the City Council and also to the County Commissioners Court. And I will tell you that both of those boards in this town's ready to do business on items like that. So we're looking at about a $30 million capital investment between the buildings and looking at not only retaining the 110 jobs they already have, but adding 150 new jobs. So it's something that we should all be very, very proud of in this community. Bay's Achievement Center, that is a gym that we have here in this community. They are one of our 10 largest employers. And I would say our #1 non-retail private employer in this community. I can't remember their current head count, but it's somewhere around 250 employees in Walker County, and they're continuing to expand their operations. Huntsville Classical Academy is another school that is being constructed hopefully in the near future. The plans have been submitted and are approved, and that will go on 75 South, just past Highway 19. But those are some of the ongoing projects. We have a whole big page full, and the lists are back there in that corner. Something just to give you a little bit of perspective, over the past 5 years, this is our permit totals, the valuation of the private development projects ongoing in town. In the year 13-14, we were right around $35 million. This past year, we just went over the $90 million mark for permits in that 1 year. In the past 5 years, the permit totals that have gone through the city of Huntsville for our office is over $300 million. And that's a pretty big number to add on the tax rolls and everything going on in town. So coming from the development world, I can say it's really, really exciting to deal with all those projects. One item, and the mayor touched base on this just a little bit, that I believe we all have concerns over is what is the financial health of our government? What's the financial health of our city? I made it through my first budget process. And woo, if I would have known about that budget process during that trying out period that council had for me, if I'd have known what I was getting into, I might have passed on that. But we approved a $68 million budget. We went down on the property tax rate, and I can tell you that the city of Huntsville is in excellent financial condition. Per our ordinance, we do require a 25% reserves, and our reserves are healthier than that. One of the other big accomplishments that the staffing council was able to do during this budget year process, we did a pay and compensation study, and we wanted to ensure that we could both recruit and retain good quality employees. We were able to implement the majority of that study, but we do have a couple of areas where we were so far behind, particularly in the police department for public safety, that it was just too big a bite to get in 1 year. So we do have some more work to do there. But with that budget, we were able to compensate our employees fairly and competitively so we can keep and recruit all the good people that you see around you in this room. Here's something that I think everybody is excited about in this community, and this is one that everybody in the community owns because this community voted for it. In 2016, we adopted more than $100 million in bonds for 3 different projects. Prop 1, public safety facilities, police and fire. Prop 2, City Hall and Service Center. And Prop 3, a lot of our utility infrastructure. So I want to talk just a little bit about Prop 1. Tonight we are unveiling. We have the first renderings from our architects of those buildings and what they would look like. We have over in this corner, you can visit them for the fire department and the police department. On PD, we have 2 options at this stage, and we would love your feedback for which option you like better. Flat roof or slanted roof, and I can tell you so far it's about a 50-50 split, so we encourage your feedback. Just to remind everybody, Fire Station number 2 will be reconstructed in its current location on Sam Houston Avenue. And the police department will be built on 50 acres that the city purchased at the intersection of Rosenwall Road and FM 2821. Proposition 3 was the highest dollar amount on all of these. We issued debt for just under $50 million, but that will take care of our pipes for a long time. That's dealing with water and sewer infrastructure. A lot of it you will not see, and a lot of it we hope continues to work now and well into the future, it's ensuring that we can provide those utilities to existing development as well as prepping for future development. Probably the most visible project out of all this will be the new water tower, or elevated storage tank as the engineers like to call it, located at Fire Station Number 1 on Veterans Memorial. Everything on Prop 3 has been approved by council for construction contract. We are wrapping up the contracts right now on the last part of those projects, and a lot of them are already under construction and everything is going great. Prop 3 were the most complex and most difficult, and the council said, let's tackle this first, and we've done it, and we're doing a great job. So thank you to all the staff for making that happen. Next, I want to talk a little bit about some things that we have coming up in the future. Drainage, we're in pretty good shape. Water and sewer, we're addressing that in pretty good shape. Transportation is something that we all know when the students come back, we all wish there was another place they could drive. But we have to welcome them here and look at how are we going to deal with our traffic in the future. We are currently under contract with a company to do a new transportation master plan, and we have to think more than just our roadways and how we're going to get cars from place to place. We also have to think about pedestrians and bicycles and how the different modes of transportation are going to interact with each other. One of the problems that I think we will see coming up, we have a lot more pedestrians coming down Lake Road going to the university, and because of the time needed to cross there at certain times, it does affect our driving traffic. So we're trying to look at that holistically. We're also in the process of an airport master plan to look and guide our growth in that facility for the next 20 years. And then finally, I-45 is under design. TxDOT will spend close to $500 million to get I-45 through town. Latest cost estimates around the $450 million range. And when all is said and done, I-45 in front of Target and Academy, the entire cross-section of it will be 14 lanes wide through Huntsville. So that's something that, it's a big number to me, I think is pretty amazing. The only part I can say is be ready for it to be under construction for the next decade. So I'm warning you now. Okay, one other thing that we wanted to unveil tonight, since we had a very large crowd here, is something that we wanted to do as a staff and with the council blessing to increase transparency on all of these projects. So our GIS department has done a very, very wonderful job. If you go to the website, huntsvilletx.gov/projects, the major projects list that you can pick up at Development Services, every one of those projects will be on a map. For instance, if you click number 1, that's a parking facility, and you will be able to pull up all of the information on that project. We do the same for residential projects. And if you click on, say, number 3 with the Armory Apartments, it will zoom to it on the map and also tell you a little bit about that project. Not only are we doing that on the private development side, we also, for accountability and transparency purposes, are doing that for our capital improvement projects and our bond projects. So let's start off with the bond projects. We'll take Proposition 1, the police station. It will give you a location on that project and a current status of that. We update these once a month, and we will continue to do so every month from here on going forward. So huntsvilletx.gov/projects, you will know exactly what I know because you will be getting information from the same source. So that's a way that we can share it with everybody and want to get the word out about everything that's going on. So now that you know about what has happened in the past year, what's ongoing, and where we're headed in the future, The big issue now is what can you do to be a part of this? So I think really the next thing for you to do in the audience is to go vote. As the mayor said, we do have a council election coming up. We have 2 contested races. So you get to vote for my boss, and I will be very happy with whoever you pick. And then also you have a chance to participate in history, as this is the longest ballot ever for the city of Huntsville. We have 32 charter amendments. It is something that the Charter Review Committee and the council spend a lot of time on, and we appreciate your willingness to go vote and your patience in getting through that ballot. So I want to wrap up by saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here. And I want to say thank you to the City Council for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to lead the staff of this city and to accomplish those things that they set out for us. And I want to finish by saying thank you to this staff, because you have here the best employees anywhere, and they will go and do anything to make this community better. And I could not and would not do this job without the support of every single one of them. So guys, all the employees, I appreciate y'all. I went over by 2 minutes, so I did better than I thought I would. But again, thank you for coming out tonight, and now I'd like to turn it back over to the mayor. After we finish up, be sure and visit the booth, pick up your major projects list, go rent the building from Kim, vote on your favorite PD, and Mr. Mayor, I'll turn the microphone back over to you.
Okay. We're seeing a lot of changes, but our job is to make sure that we don't lose what we have and blend these changes into the great things that we already have in our city. It's a tough job. But, and I'm going to kind of close up tonight by saying that I attended a leadership conference at Sam Houston University here a while back, and it was about, I think, when I look back, it was about the 78th leadership conference I attended in my career. And I thought, you know, what am I going to learn? I went in with kind of the bad attitude, wrong attitude. But I sat there and they did a telecast. They had people from all over the United States talking. And one of the speakers said something I could really identify, that I have been personally involved in every bad decision I've ever made. Nobody likes to talk about the bad decisions they make. So I'm going to talk about 2 good decisions I've made. The first one, the first good decision I made is sitting right here in this chair. Stand up, honey. Stand up. Stand up. 50 years ago, she captured my heart because I saw her in a porch swing on the front of her house. My life changed. It's not the same anymore. The second great decision I made was when I retired. As many of you know, I came out of the maritime industry. My wife and I said, where do we want to retire? Where do we want to live? And we were fortunate enough that we could have lived just about anywhere. And so we came to Huntsville. Our kids had gone to school here. And we said, this is where we want to stay. This is where we want to end up. So we bought a home in Huntsville. One of the best decisions we ever made. The other part of the leadership conference was a man named Dr. Jim Lohr gave a speech. And his specialty was identifying characteristics of successful people. That he had done this for 40 years. And he was a so-called expert. You know, expert is anybody outside a 100-mile radius of the problem. But he was an expert in identifying characteristics that successful people have. And in his speech, he said, one thing that has dumbfounded me over my career that I've never been able to find the answer to was, why was I given this life? What am I supposed to do with this life that was given me? Well, my ears kind of perked up. And he said, I've searched and searched for the answer to that. And he said, I've had very, very difficult time coming up with it, but he said, I have finally found it after 40 years. Well, I'm on the edge of my seat now. I said, wow, you know, let's have it, you know. And he said, you were given your life. I was given my life to give it away. Now you think about that a minute. Give your life away to somebody else. I see it over and over and over in this city of people giving their lives away. And as mayor, you get to witness it. The office lets you witness these wonderful, special, caring people in Huntsville, Texas that are giving their lives away every day. These employees around that you see in the city, special people, not only do they do their jobs every day for the citizens of Huntsville, but let me tell you some of the other things they do. Chief Hobbs drives the antique fire truck during the parade and throws candy for kids, giving his life away. Debbie organizes Scare on the Square. If you missed it, it was tremendous this weekend. And she has a costume contest for kids. And the police, one of the police officers is the judge, gives her life away, in addition to being a police officer. We had two ladies in our church came up to me here a while back and said, we want to thank the two city employees that stopped on the highway and helped us change a flat tire. They didn't have to do that, but they did it. They're giving their life away. Boards and commissions, people that serve this city on a volunteer basis, that serve on these boards. Danny, you're well aware of it. They're giving their lives away. Elected officials. Keith Olson paid $40 a month for 8 years to give his life away. Hospital volunteers. Mac, we had a lady, remember we recognized that lady? I don't know how long she had been a volunteer at the hospital. It being 30, 35 years. Gave her life away for 35 years. A Rise to Read program, a new program in Huntsville, where volunteers teach second graders how to read or improve their reading. They spend an hour a week with second graders helping them with their reading. 180 strong volunteers in this city that do that every week. They're giving their lives away. Give your life away. You'll get it back tenfold. This city is full of loving, caring, dedicated people, generous volunteers. God's been good to this city. Don't you love your city? I do, huh? We live in a special place, a great city, a city full of people like this. I wouldn't have known it had I not been the mayor, because I get to meet them every day. I could go on and on. I tell people quite often, I say, when I get through with this mayor's job, I'm going to write a book about my mayoral adventures. Oh. Thank you for letting me represent this city. I take it seriously. It's a special, special job for special, special people. God bless you. We're going to now, I think, have a birthday. Terrence, where is Terrence? Is it your birthday, Terrence? Huh? You and Aaron come here. We already did Aaron once, but we're going to include you in on it this time, Terrence. Huh? Terrence is one of our inspectors here at the city. And let me tell you about Terrence, about giving his life away. Terrence also plays Christian music. Now, I've attended several churches where Terrence played. And I told Terrence, I said, Terrence, whenever you get ready, I also sing. So I'll be ready to sing. And Terrence, he hadn't done it yet. You know, Tyler McCafferty, one of our city council men, he's not here tonight, is also has a birthday today. So we are now going. We are now going to sing happy birthday to two special people. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron and Terrence. Happy birthday to you. Think about how you can serve your city. Travel safely. Have a great night. I really appreciate the crowd that's come out. Thank you.
I did, some of it.
Good job.